This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Welcome to the show. Today we're visiting with one of the most recognizable faces in Central Texas television, MG Montemayor, as a main evening anchor at Fox 44 News. MG's become a trusted source of information for viewers all across the area. Before coming to Waco, she worked as a sports anchor and reporter in Hawaii and began her career in Los Angeles, gaining experience covering major professional sports and breaking news. She's also a two-time Edward R. Murrow and Emmy Award-winning journalist who brings both professionalism and personality to the news desk every night. So welcome to the show. It is so fun to get to know you better, MG.
Thanks for having me, Ann. I'm so excited.
So what does the MG stand for?
So my full name is Mary Grace Montemayor.
Oh.
So when I went into sports, actually, I played sports growing up. So I played basketball and tennis. And I was sort of a tomboy growing up. So I never felt like the name matched
like a
me.
Mary Grace.
Yeah. And so on the court or on the tennis court or on the basketball court, my friends just started calling me MG for short. And it just kind of stuck. From middle school on, I just went by that. And then it just felt natural. And then I went to sports journalism. And so I felt like my name was so long that I was like, well, just use MG because that's always felt like my name. But
yeah. Okay, good. Well, so what did spark your interest in journalism? I mean, you said you were kind of a sporty type girl, but
I was a sporty type girl, but
doing this kind of work it's a whole nother thing.
It is. So I definitely loved writing from a young age. I would write short stories for my mom, and it was sort of something that was an escape. So whenever I would come back from, either a practice or something like that, I would just write short stories.
Really?
Maybe like a page long, and just things that I had ideas about or things that interested me. And my mom would read, these are really good. But I did it for fun because I enjoyed kind of storytelling in that way. But I never thought of it as a career. My parents are, immigrants from the Philippines. And so I think their idea for me had always been you either go medical field or law or something like that. But I was more creative. My head was different and I'm on the introverted side. So that was an escape for me, was writing, storytelling, or just kind of being on my own in my own head. But I never considered it a career because I had this, push from my parents to kind of be more on the side where math and science. And that was that was the track that I had because it was sort of guided for me.
So they came from the Philippines, but you grew up in Houston?
I grew up in Houston. And then that's where I kind of got involved with sports because I was sort of a shyer kid. But once I got into sports.
I played too. You mentioned tennis. I play tennis, and most of the Filipinos I know are tennis players.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
I think it's just, in general, those two sports are big in the Philippines.
Yeah,
they love it. And especially basketball for the boys. But I was, my dad built a basketball court in the back, and then he loved tennis. And so that's where I got my love for it. And I was always an active kid. So he would take us to the courts, and then we would just volley it over and hit it over.
Yeah.
And then
so you played in school?
I played in school. I didn't get as far in my career. I think I only did it for 1 year in high school, but middle school and high school. And then I also was in dance classes. So then I was like, I'm probably better at that. So then I ended up on the dance team in high school from sophomore year on.
Yeah, fun.
But I did, growing up, play sports, basketball and tennis. And wait, I forgot the track of this.
Your interest in journalism and then you went to UT, right?
I did go to UT. So when I was there again, I my first year, I had to declare a major. It was undeclared natural sciences because I thought I was going to do something in the medical field.
Right.
And then I just began to like realize this is not my jam. I was in these biology classes where people were into it, and I just didn't know if I could see myself continue on that track. It sort of felt like
it's not like you were averse to blood or anything like that. I mean,
no.
Some people go, "There's no way I'd do anything in the medical field." But
yeah, I think it was more about. I just felt like it didn't feel like I could see myself in a lifetime of this career.
Yeah.
In a way, like I could study, I could get by and do it.
Oh, yeah.
But my heart wasn't in it. And then it was like a
you
drag.
have to have a passion for whatever it is. But you say you're an introvert. I just think that's kind of funny because you're on television every night. So, it seems like there's a little bit of a performance type thing. How did you get over that?
Well,
part
you
of
know
it?
what's funny about that is that, like, for me, the best part of this job is when I have my one-on-ones. I think that connecting with people and finding out why people are the way they are, the stories behind them. I forget about the cameras when I'm in an interview.
Sure.
So when I talk to someone, it's just more of like, what would they like to share with me? Why did they do? I'm so curious about people. So then that in itself is not even a performance anymore because I've taken the camera out of even my head and we're just talking. So, and then I forget, it's like, oh my gosh, they've either, they've spilled these things that they haven't told anybody, or they tell me, that's okay, I'll answer that question, I trust you. When I hear that, it's just like, wow, that's such a big responsibility.
Yes, it is.
And so when I hear that and people tell me that they trust me and they're okay with sharing these things with me, or they cry, I just feel a responsibility about telling their story in the right way. So even anchoring wasn't even a goal. It was just like being able to tell the story part of it was the most important for me. And then writing and editing the packages and things like that. And then
the technical part you learn along the way. Yeah.
So then I decided that like when I'm on camera every night, it doesn't seem like I'm in a space where people are watching me, honestly.
Oh, I know, because it's just, another camera op or, and maybe the weather guy in the corner. I mean,
exactly.
You're not thinking, oh, there are thousands and thousands of people who are watching right now.
And you know this.
Yeah.
It's almost like you forget.
Yeah.
And then when I had a co-anchor, we would just bounce off each other.
I know.
So I had a few years that way before I was solo. So I got comfortable on the desk, but it also feels like you mentioned last time we spoke about how you're letting someone, or it's a privilege to be able to go into people's homes.
Oh, yeah,
so
you're quoting
again.
Bruce Keaton, my co-anchor, because he always said, and it is so true, that it's a privilege for us as news anchors to be invited into someone's home every evening, and to never abuse that or never take it for granted.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so then I don't even think of it as a performance almost. I just feel like I forget that it's that high stakes, or I'm just speaking. And then it's sort of, I think this is the difference. If I were to do a speech as me, that's when it would scare me.
Oh, I know.
I don't like public speaking.
Well,
you know
like
what I mean?
When you
that.
had Bruce and me in your studio the other day to interview us, I don't like being the one that's being questioned, because you'd ask me these questions. I'm like, what am I going to say about that?
You guys were so cute, though.
Well, of course, he and I had an amazing working relationship, and still a strong friendship to this day. But as you know, with a co-anchor, there's a lot of give and take, and you get to where you're comfortable with that person, and you know what they're going to do almost before they do it. And anyway, we just had a great time together at KXXV. Of course, the reason we were at your place was to honor your general manager, Mike Lee, who was on this show with Sylvia Villarreal talking about some of the great awards that KWKT had won recently. And as a surprise to both Sylvia and me, I mean, within days, he said, okay, I'm retiring. So, so you have the lovely job of doing a story for his going away party.
Yes.
And so Bruce and I got to weigh in a little bit because I worked with him for 11 years at
amazing.
Channel 25.
A decade. And he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And when I decided to make the transition from sports to news, this was my first job that was news. But
right, and he's the one that gave you that opportunity. Yeah.
so my prior news director, Dean Weatherby, found me, and my reel was sports. And I was like, I'm not going to even fake it. I have sports, and some of it was news related, but for the most part, it was a sports reel.
Well, it's still stories are stories.
So stories are stories. So I had packages in there and that sort of thing. And then I think I did a breaker they sent me out for when it was all hands on deck for a tsunami watch. Oh. So I ended up just doing that. And I threw that on there. But I was like,
that's good. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
But then at USC, when I was there for journalism school, I did stories. So I knew how to do news. I knew how to MMJ. I knew how to shoot and do all the editing.
Yeah. Tell them what an MMJ is.
It's a multimedia journalist. You do everything. You're a one-man band.
Yeah.
You go out and shoot your own footage.
Set up your own live shots sometimes.
Set up your own lives. And then you come back, write, edit, cut it, and then boom, it's on air.
Yeah, and the business changed so much over the years from when I got into television, because you always had a photog that was going along with you, and they did and somebody else did the editing. You were just doing the journalism part. Of it. And so streamlining things, the MMJ position became the thing, and the pressure of hitting those deadlines and making slot.
And making slot. And
is
also,
pretty important.
It is. And I think also this day and age, they expect you to know at least how to do it. If they don't want you to do it every single day, you will have to know how to do it. And for me, my thing is I'll do special projects, but like it won't be a day turn because I'll put a little more time in it, but I do shoot, rent, edit.
You have to in something like that.
And so that will be, I can just brush my skills off and do it then. And then we had a special for Memorial Day, or a Memorial Day special, and I put a couple packages together for those. So I'll do it, and I know how to. And I even think these days it's no longer just the anchor who sits and reads at the desk. I have to be able to have other skills that I can contribute, because we're so small staff these days. They don't.
Oh, I know.
No photogs, like you said, and really you're doing it all.
Well, and with AI, so many of the writing jobs that were there in a news station, you can just push a button and stuff is spit out. Promotions, things like, teases, promos, all that kind of stuff can be done like that.
That's true.
When there were whole departments that used to craft those.
So that's the thing about the business. It's sort of in a transition. Well, maybe it's always been that way.
Yeah.
But even now, it's all digital first. And it's like, how can I put this out on TikTok or Instagram first? And you're cutting stuff on your phone as you go onto a live shot, or even as, it's a lot to juggle. So I think kind of staying on that curve has been harder for TV stations, but the transition even pushed now for our station is even having more content on our Fox-44 app, which is 10 hours of streaming content. So we've got to come up with an extra 10 hours a week where we put stuff online that doesn't duplicate what's on the news. So that's an extra task right there. So
yeah. Well, it was a wonderful career for me. I'm really happy to be where I am right now, because we can sit and I can visit with folks in the community and hear what makes them tick. And so this has been fun. But let's talk a little bit about Hawaii. What a change. Of course, you lived in Texas, and let's face it, Houston, humidity-wise, is way worse than Waco, isn't it?
It is very, because by the Gulf, you get more of just the moisture in the air, and it's sticky. And
we lived in Houston I can remember opening the door and hardly being able to breathe because it's so humid. There's so much water in the air. You're like, anyway. But Hawaii, how long were you in Hawaii?
Goodness.
What was that like?
I was there for a little over a year. So I was...
in Honolulu?
I was in Honolulu. So it's where the station was. And I came straight out of being just a news assistant. I wasn't on air at the ABC O&O in Los Angeles. And then I just wanted to be in the business until I landed my first job. So whenever the Hawaii one, I mean, there were ones that I saw, but I just didn't know and then when that one came up, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I think I want to do this one. So I threw my name in the hat for that one. I ended up in Honolulu. And that was great because in a way, so not being on the mainland, even though they're part of the US, there are different ways there. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's because they're so culturally rooted in their Polynesian heritage. They're very protective of it. So I know that in general, like you know this, where pronouncing names is so important, over there it's 100 times more important. 100 times more important.
Wow, that would be so hard.
Yeah. So, and some of these names are like 20 letters long.
I know.
And the street names. And so when you're, I would practice.
What's the hardest one you ever did?
Oh my gosh. Well, I think there was one word it was a street name, and it's one of, so it was Ke'a'amoku, but it's not that bad, but it's like every syllable has to be pronounced. Even like you can't say Ke'amoku, it's Ke'a'amoku. So everything is so cut up, right? And so street names.
Did you have a coach?
I didn't have a coach, but I had a pronouncer, and there were locals that were in the newsroom that I would run by and make sure I said it right. Yeah. But then here's the deal is that when you're covering football, high school football is huge there, second to Texas, I'd say.
I'll bet.
So Friday Night Lights, all those kids' names, for my highlights that I would read, I would go through probably dozens of names. And I was like so nervous because parents are watching.
Oh, yeah.
And so
they're going to know if you mess it up.
They're going to know. And I'm telling you, these Polynesian names are long. So that's definitely one of the things is they're protective of their heritage, their names. And pronunciation is a big part of that because when they watch you, they want to feel like you're, they knew, okay, because I being Filipino, there are a lot of Filipinos in Hawaii because it's a melting pot. Yeah. So I could pass for the look of someone who's local.
Yeah.
But I never tried to, but I knew that like looking this way, I still had to make sure I get it right. Because they're going to know right away. They're going to know. And also they want to make sure that you're in Hawaii now. It's so different from what it is. And over there, like you could even say Hawaii, like I was
listening how you pronounce the word. Yeah. Hawaii.
Yeah. With a V. There were little quirks and things like that. And there were some funny moments on air where I would call something that they wouldn't call it the same way that I said flip flops. Like, what's the flip flop? It's like, we call that here slippa. Slippa. Yeah.
Interesting.
Because they have a way where
instead of slippas.
Yeah, and brother and things like that. So they have their own little lingo where it's just very local.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
it was so fun. But I loved it because I think my days off were during the week. I was a weekend sports anchor, weekday sports reporter. So I was off on Wednesday, Thursday. I
was going to say middle of the week.
Yeah. And then I was on the beach pretty much those days. And I mean, gosh, nothing beats the Hawaii, ocean and just being able to
and the
get
vibe.
out there.
I've not visited there, but I hope to. So
it's worth it.
It's on the bucket list too.
No, I love living
Hawaii.
there. Hawaii. And the people, they're just kind of very welcoming and they love, they just, it's like feeling like you're slowing down a little bit when you live there. Everything is just like hang loose. That's how they are.
All right. Well, we're going to need to take a break. So much more I want to talk to you about, MG, when we come back. But I want to let you know today's show is brought to you by Allen Samuels. It is the summer sales event at Allen Samuels in Waco. Drive the all-new 2026 Jeep Cherokee, 37 miles a gallon. Everybody's thinking about that these days. Drive home a new 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, 0% financing for 36 months or 2.9% for 84 months, or save $9,000 off your MSRP. 2026 Dodge Charger RT and score $6,000 in savings there. First responders and military members get an extra $500 bonus. Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. We'll treat you like family. Stay with us. There's more of the show ahead.
It's the 2026 Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes, brought to you by the First National Bank of Central Texas. Tour a variety of homes at different price points, plus see the latest trends from beautiful kitchens to outdoor living spaces. See the latest colors and design patterns. This is your chance to walk through homes, meet the builders, and get inspiration for your own projects. The Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes, June 5th, 6th, and 7th, and June 13th and 14th. Tickets are available online or at any parade home. For more,
we're celebrating the Declaration of Deals at Allen Samuels in Waco. Right now, get $13,000 off a new Ram 1500 Lone Star, plus 2.9% for 72 months. Cash in on $13,000 off a new Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab, or choose 0% for 36 months, plus no payments for 90 days. Feel secure with America's best full-size truck powertrain 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty at Allen Samuels.
Come by.
it's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues or those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. And so I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Our patented handles were launched in 2018. We continue to push the boundaries of strength training. Join us in making your training more natural and effective. Visit Engels90.com to learn more and revolutionize your workout.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Alan Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues or those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. I said I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Alan Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Alan Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
And we are back with MG Montemayor, who is the main anchor at KWKT Fox-44 in Waco. And it's a delight to get to hear more of your story. And what I want to do now is just take folks behind the scene. What is a typical day like for you? Do you have a news meeting at a certain time? I mean, we're sitting here in the middle of the day, so you had the flexibility to come and visit with me. So what is a day like for you?
My day starts at 1:15 for an editorial meeting, and we'll come in and our producers.
So you're in studio at 1:15.
So I'm at the station, but we're not in studio. But
so you're not zooming in for that?
No. So I'm coming in physically to the studio at 1. I'll be there at 1:15 today, and we'll talk about ideas that the Nightside reporters may have. We'll look at the earlier show, but we'll also see what can our Nightside reporter do, because we're so short-staffed. But the Nightside reporter could do for the evening. We'll throw in ideas. We'll see what local stories we have from our assignment editor. And then I'm also, as of this year, I'm also have the executive producer title. So I'll throw out ideas and I'll ask if there's something better, or then I'll go over the rundown later in the day too. But for this meeting itself, we'll throw around ideas for that reporter and what could be best. She'll have hers, but then we'll see if that's the best way to for coverage wise for the 9 p.m. show. And then,
So who all is in this meeting?
so my news director, Sylvia, is in there. We'll have our reporter. We'll have, so our reporter is Elizabeth. We'll have Roland, who is our assignment editor.
Yeah.
And then
No, I've known him a very long
he's such
time.
a good, oh my gosh.
He's the best.
I
He's the
love
best,
Roland.
yeah.
And
he
so,
knows everybody, and he
knows
can get
everybody.
information out of a rock.
I love it. And
He's
he'll-
amazing.
He's the best. And so he'll be in there as well, giving us more about the crime stories that he possibly can pull up. And then I'll be in there alongside the 9 p.m. producer, Gary, and the 5:36 producer, Jay. And so Jay and I will already be communicating throughout the day, because sometimes starting as early as 2:00, I'll have Look Live guests, because we book 2 either live or Look Live guests 3-minute segments for our show. So if there's anything in our schedule, then I'll be ready before the 5:30 hits. But so for this meeting, we'll just talk about that, and then off she goes, and we'll kind of
I know the day kind of runs itself, doesn't it?
5:30 rundown, and then from that point, if we have those interviews, I'll start prepping. I like to write my own questions. I know it's such a simple thing, but I like to know what it is about exactly, and I like to know who's coming in, and so Jay and I will talk about that, and then whenever in the day that is going to be, we'll shoot those, or sometimes they'll want to do it live between 5:30 and 6:30. So that will be, I'll just have those written in my head, but I'll go over the rundown with Jay, the 5:30 rundown. Sometimes because he's been in this, he graduated a year ago, so he's pretty young. So for producer, I'll still help him out with just how he's stacking the show, or if there's something better, a better flow to it, or just choices of stories that are in there. And then I rewrite almost every script if possible. So I'm making sure that it's in my voice.
It's in your voice, yeah.
Yeah. And so I will kind of go over that throughout the day. And then at times I'll jump in, and because there's certain days where I've had to fill in as a producer for the later show. So I can also produce and put the video in, write my stuff in case one of them is out sick, or just scheduling wise, we can't have one. So then I do know how to produce myself as well.
You do it all.
And then throughout the day, we have our Daystar reporter. So I'll usually check his scripts. If he's live, he'll mail it in, and I'll look over his lives. And then he'll have to transfer back the video. But I like to go through reporter scripts just to make sure it's written right. And then
because really the biggest thing, you're the last line of defense before something goes on the air, and if you're reading it and you're like, I'm not sure I understand that, then it's going to be hard to communicate that to everybody else.
I mean, we had a huge trial that just wrapped up last week. And so that was a little tricky because there's so there's so much
legal
involved
stuff.
legally. So I wanted to
know.
go through his scripts. Let's go over this because I don't want to say anything that's not quite right or incorrect. So then we went over that, and I sent him back what he could track from the field. Or if he was doing a live, whatever he would say live. So that was, because again, it's another younger reporter. So we want to make sure that things are, we don't, certain things, I mean, of course, like you say, alleged and things like that before he's convicted. So just making sure things are on the up and up. But
things to keep you from being sued.
Yeah, exactly. So then that all goes throughout the day. And then I pretty much have to get ready for the show also. So while I'm checking scripts, I'm also going through the rundown, and then I get ready, and then I'm on air at 5:30. So it seems like, I don't know, every day could be different, because if something hits or breaks, you might have to move something up to the top or add it in.
Just throw it out the window, right? And
right.
No, I know that's true. And those days are rather few and far between, but when they happen, as you say earlier, all hands on deck. I mean, everybody is pulling in, trying to get as much information as they can to you. I solo anchored for a while, and my hat's off to you, because I really prefer having a co-anchor. I mean,
so much more fun.
There's
too.
just there's the camaraderie, of course, and the chemistry, which was great. But also, there's just another set of hands and eyes, and ready to do the work. I mean, it can be overwhelming.
It can be, and then with the co-anchor, sometimes especially, well, like you said, they are far and few between, but if there is a live portion, you can bounce back and forth.
Right.
Just the ability to be able to do that. But, as a solo anchor, I always have I'm always on my toes because if something were to go wrong, then, hey, okay, it's me, right?
Oh, you have to be ready to and do the soft shoe.
Yeah. And sometimes I have my computer at my desk now. And if something happens that has been added in, like a breaker, and then I can't physically put it in, I will go through it during a break and read it through. But then sometimes there are even times where I put video in from the desk.
Have you really?
And so do everything now. So it's
That's
like, I know how to
incredible.
produce, add it, tack it on there. And like I said, because they're so young, they're great. I mean, they're soaking everything up, but they're learning still.
This still is kind of a starter market in a lot of ways. Maybe not for your position, but the support position, it definitely is. And so you have to learn to say goodbye to a lot of those folks because they're going to go on to bigger markets and go on to do other things.
That's true.
What is it you think people in a community value the most, though, from their local news department?
What do they value most? Well, I think it's just about actual relationships with them. You're not just one and done, like going and doing a story and then that's it. It's almost like just feeling like you've really invested in them and knowing who they are and staying connected with, let's say, if they have events, you're showing up or different ways that they want to promote something. Sure, let's do a live or a 3-minute segment on that. And just kind of knowing who's who and actually forming actual relationships. Because there's one thing where you're like, you come in and then the camera's on and you're talking to them there, but then like you don't know them past that. I think they like being able to feel like you're in the ground with them and in the community with them and are involved, and so that's, I think, what's important to them and telling their stories, but not just that, but like when the cameras are turned off, are you there? Are you involved and, kind of in the community with them and actually part of it?
Is there a local nonprofit or some group that you're involved with, just on your own time?
Yeah, well, I think for me, gosh, it's, we have done a lot with the Advocacy Center for Crime Victims and Children. And
we were at the Mardi Gras.
The Mardi Gras ball.
That was so wonderful, yeah.
But I'll do stuff, even things that aren't even promoted by the station, really. Like I've done their purse bingo out in, this wasn't Belt, was it Belt? No,
Yeah,
it was so not the one locally, but I've done the Waco one, but we did one that was.
Yeah, I know, it was out of town.
The
I
other
heard Mom
one.
talking about it, so yeah.
Yeah, but I've got to know these ladies so well. I think that just the amount of dedication they have to kind of getting the word out there on
And
just
that's
the
a
crime
hard
victims.
job, what
It
they do.
is.
So it's just such a hard subject.
Just what they have to hear every single day.
I know.
And just to be able to get the funding for it. So even if this one wasn't even company sponsored, like I've done events with them, I'll come and show, we've done Spill the Tea with them, but being able to actually know these ladies, they're the most, they can take a lot emotionally. So for them to like, what is it? How do I say this? They're very empathetic people. It takes a certain individual to be able to hear those stories and be able to help people. And also, have to do these community events to ask for, kind of help and funding. So I've gotten to know those ladies really well, like Allie up there, Laura Downing, and these women who just are so, they do what they can to just make sure that the victims are safe and that they can help the community in that way. And I'm a sucker for dogs. So the Humane Society, like I cannot stop.
Oh yeah,
I can't go
the
through
Humane
a dog
Society,
photo.
and you look so darling. You were so gorgeous that night. Oh my gosh.
I have a soft spot for rescue dogs. My dog is a rescue
I know
herself,
you had in your arms. Yeah.
She's in my arms, and I
Yeah.
just cannot. The whole Free the Beagles movement, I've just cried over every video I've seen. I really have to get out of the rabbit hole on that. I get so sad. I just don't want to see any puppy without a home. And like, my gosh, I would have a farm of dogs if I could just, but the thing is like, it's like, you can try to save them all, but there's so many of them and it's so
Yeah.
sad. And something about dogs, because it's just pure love and loyalty. That's my soft spot when it's like animals, anything like that, or rescues. And so anytime I can try to help those guys, I will. But that is kind of has a piece of my heart right there.
Well, what are some of the biggest stories you've covered? You mentioned a tsunami or something. So that's a big deal. We don't get too many of those here in Central Texas.
Right. So that one ended up sort of dying away as it got closer, but they had me out by the waters and there were still folks surfing.
I was like,
they had me out by the waters offshore. And we were at North Shore. Are you sure I'm not going to die doing this? Exactly. But you could see how hard the waves were crashing and coming in. Yet those were the waves that some of the surfers were out trying to catch. And so they were warning people to get off of there. That's a whole other mindset. It was a whole different mindset, but there were younger kids trying to get out there. And I mean, every single day. You could die doing that though. Yeah. I mean, the Weather Center we were on, just talking about how it was getting closer and that things were getting severely dangerous. Just get away from the shores, and if you live near the ocean, it might be time to just evacuate and get out there. So we ended up doing that. And, when I first got here, were there any bigger stories? I mean, we had a few local trials, but I think, that was a huge story. Much of my stuff, I think, I've been really into the features and localizing things, but we did the 50th anniversary for the fall of Saigon, which was super cool. That's what you won a lot of awards. Yeah, and so that one ended up winning the TNAB. And then I did a story on my grandfather, who was a veteran, but he was in the Philippine Scouts, and they were actually part of the troops that helped kind of defeat from the Pacific that, the enemies from there. And so, but they were not kind of given the veteran status. And so later on, I spoke to some advocates who were trying to get them the Congressional Gold Medal. So I spoke to a lot of the, the people. One of them was actually a general that was here retired out of Fort Hood that helped me with the story. And so that was a 3-parter that ended up winning my first Murrow. So that was really cool. An Edward R. Murrow Award is a very big deal. Hats off to you, my dear. Thank you. It was shot strictly on an iPhone. It was a 3-part series that I ran every week for Asian American Heritage Month a couple years ago. And it was so close to my heart. I interviewed my mom because the thing is, he never shared anything about the war with his children. That was very typical. Really? So, of those veterans, yeah. And then I just got super curious about it. And then she had never even dug anything out. And then she took a trip back to the Philippines to visit some of her siblings, and they found a suitcase full of stuff about the war. And so I just turned it into a story because it was so special to me. And that's amazing. Kind of one of the things that kind of felt really close to my heart. And also I did a story on the Texas Lost Battalion, which is the other one that ended up winning a Murrow. I flew out to France for that story because it was the 50-year anniversary of that battle, the one that pushed the Germans back and that ended up, shutting down the war and shutting down the Germans. But the troop that was featured and they were trapped there, they were surrounded by the Germans. They were based in Central Texas. So they were called the Texas Lost Battalion, and a group of Nisei soldiers it was a segregated unit at the time because it was during the war. So a lot of them were separated from the regular, they had their own, it was the 442nd Regimental Combat Team, all Japanese Americans. They were sent out to help those guys get out of there. But I went to the site and it was just, you could still see foxholes. I sat in a foxhole that you could find mortar shells. You could find, they dug in because they were trapped there for days. And it would almost look like it was over. But on the 50th anniversary, a lot of the veterans came back. There were only a few left from that troop. And so they were out there celebrating that. And I had to get that moment captured in time because it was such a pivotal battle for us in helping defeat the enemy. So when I went there, I got to speak to a French historian who told me all about it. One of my friends who helped me shoot it, he primarily works out of the West Coast, and he took a drone out with me because, these trees are it was such the feeling of being in that forest is like, and it was cold during that winter, you just feel like, my gosh, like, I don't know how. And then the way they had to fight and save those men, they had to go uphill. So I don't know how they were able to push the Germans back. Like when you get there and you feel like, wow, I can't believe this battle was won out there.
Yeah.
It's just incredible. So I think that was one of my big stories that also I had been chasing for a while. I set it up and it took a year of planning, but then when I got out there, it,
So
delivered.
can folks find a link to see that?
So that one should be on the Fox-44 YouTube page, but also on my YouTube page. And that one, it's just like a moment in time that like, I'm glad I was able to capture. But yeah, that one is on my YouTube, MG Montemayor YouTube page, as well as the Fox-44 YouTube page. But that one did win the other Murrow as well. That one was nominated for an Emmy as well. And so was my grandpa's story. But I just think that like these kind of historical things, they just give me the chills because.
Well, and it's really oral history is what you're doing too. You're the work of a historian. So.
I love it. I love it. Anything like that. It's just, it kind of.
Oh my goodness. It has just been so wonderful to hear about your work and to learn more about you, MG. And it's just been a delight for me. And I like to end these little interviews with a questionnaire similar to the one the late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actor Studio. So here's my take on this. I will ask you, MG, what is your favorite word?
What is my favorite word? Oh, it's kind of fun. Psychedelic.
I love it. Okay, I've never heard that before. What
groovy.
about your least favorite word?
My least favorite word is, I'd say probably hate. I don't know. I don't know if we ever really hate anything.
Yeah.
So I don't like hearing that. It's like, well, let's think about something. And is there another way? Maybe there's a reason why you're disliking something. But yeah, I don't like that word.
Yeah. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Human connection. That has to be it.
Yeah.
Whether it's connecting with a bestie that I haven't talked to in a while or sitting down with someone I've never met before, like I said, who shares their story with me and being able to feel them in that way. I think that's just what life is about. And I think that's what made me fall in love with journalism is that it's all about connecting. And for an introvert like me, I'm great with small groups, one-on-ones, and then I can really hear them. I'll get lost in a crowd, but in a one-on-one where I can actually connect with one person or a few, that's everything.
Yeah, that's basically my same answer to that question.
I love it.
What turns you off creatively, then spiritually or emotionally?
What turns me off creatively or emotionally? Ego. I don't like ego. And I don't know and sometimes they don't know it, or maybe it's like an armor for something else. But when I see that, I don't like it because I just feel like you're not getting to the heart of the person or it just doesn't feel, is that really authentic? Or, someone's not as aware that they're being that way, but it kind of makes me not, it leaves a distance between me and that person in a way. So when walls are down, I love that. But, you also have to honor that if you're both going to be open, then we do it together and you share.
What is your favorite sound?
Oh my gosh. The funniest thing is that I have my rescue dog, but I will say she's a barker. But she's a little protective of me. So her
of course
little
she is.
bark.
That's what you want. You want her to do that. Yeah.
She's about 6 pounds, but her little bark, anytime she sees someone walk by, she'll have a little bark. And I know she's in her senior years now, so she's getting older.
Oh.
So I just I know that when she's barking, she's feeling good and she's probably still in good shape.
Kind of spunky feeling.
And spunky, and she'll go for a while sometimes if it's the mailman who drops something off and she's riled up for 5 minutes. But her little bark, I like to hear that she's, still very protective of, our home.
That's good. What is your least favorite sound?
My least favorite sound. Oh my gosh. That's a good question. Well, it could be fighting or just like, I mean, it could be anger, like when I hear people arguing or just screaming at the top of their lungs and it's no longer a conversation. And sometimes you could hear that at restaurants or if you're walking by or things just,
it's uncomfortable.
Man. Yeah. Or I don't like screaming. I'm more about like, let's think about how we can be, you know, talk through something. Yeah.
Civil.
The sound of, the sound of yelling or people being angry, like where they're like, they lost their wits. So.
Yeah. Sounds like you're kind of doing your dream job and what you were cut out to do. But was there something when you were young where you thought, oh, I'd like to be something else? I know what your parents were kind of pushing you in a certain direction.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Initially, when I was an undergrad at UT Austin, I thought I was going to do screenwriting because I said that I love storytelling. I really thought that would be my thing, would be something in production or like, because I love to write short stories. And I got into a screenwriting class and I really loved it. I was like, oh, I could do this. I mean, but writing a whole 90 to 120 minute script, it's no easy feat getting it purchased. So it's like a lot more than just writing. You have to sell it and be able to get the casting. I was like, that's beyond what I'd want to do. You know, I love the storytelling part of it, but like doing the business side of selling and all that, no. But I thought, I was like, yeah, I could work in the film business and just right away and just write stories. So that was my initial thought. And then I was like, let's rethink this.
And so obviously you're using your writing skills in a beautiful way. What job do you know, I don't want to do that, somebody else can do that, thanks?
Another job that, golly, my gosh. Is there anything like that? Oh my gosh. Well, like I said, I think a doctor.
Yeah.
You know, the pressure. It's not that I couldn't study how to be something or like get the skill set to do it, but you're having someone's life in your hands like that. That feels huge.
Yeah. Often when something would, things would fall apart, the TV station, whatever, the show implodes, whatever, what goes off the rails, we would always have to think, this is not brain surgery. No one is going to die.
Exactly. And I think because just knowing that like your life is in someone's hands. Yeah. I don't know if I can say, there's one thing when you stay calm in news and you're reporting a story and getting it out and just being able to, stay calm and report something. But like when you're responsible for someone's life. Yeah. On a table, that's okay.
Okay. One last question then. When you arrive at the pearly gates, what do you want to hear the Lord say to you, MG?
Oh, gosh. I think I'd like to hear him say, well, just job well done. I hope, thank you for hearing people, listening to people, and finding a way to just see every human for who they are. Yeah. And loving them regardless. Everyone has their stories, and I think like having him see that like I appreciate people of all walks of life and seeing people for who they are, and even being able to be part of sharing their stories. I think I'd love to hear him say that. Just that humanity is, people. We're all people, and just thank you for loving people, despite themselves.
Good. Well, thank you, MG.
Thank you
for spending some time with me. I appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Anne, for having me.
And so you are on the air. When can folks see you?
I'll be on the air every Monday through Friday, 5:30, and the 9 o'clock news. So that's my slot every night. I hope you guys can catch me there. Yeah. And I appreciate you guys watching if you already are. And if not, come and hop on and join us.
Very good. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
It's the premier charity event of the year, the 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, presented by Ascension Provident. A fun evening filled with great food and drink, dancing, a spectacular auction, and more. This year's theme is Nashville Nights, Neon Lights, and Bullfights. Get your tickets now, donate, or be a sponsor. Help support the American Cancer Society to find a cure. The 2026 Central Texas Cattle Barons Ball, October 24th at MCC Highlander Ranch. For more information, go to centraltexascattlebaronsball.org.
For anyone that's in the car buying mode or looking for a car right now or a truck, I would definitely come by Allen Samuels, get to know the people here like I have, how well I'm taking care of the dealership and how well, service and any kind of warranty issues and those sort of things. Because of the way they take care of me, it's made me a Ram driver. And so I don't think they'd want to go anywhere else if they came here.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Earning an online certification is a quick and convenient way to gain industry-recognized credentials. Select your ACLS course. Print your ACLS certificate. You can print your certification wallet card. aclsnow.com.
Designed to elevate the off-road experience, enabling adventurers to conquer any terrain. For 50 years, you've trusted us on your toughest recoveries, to your most breathtaking destinations, and in countless unforgettable memories.
Finance is evolving. Automation, data analytics, and AI are reshaping what finance teams do every single day. The best way to predict the future of finance is to be ready for it. If you want a head start, check out 365 Financial Analyst.
At 4U Health, we believe wellness and lab testing should be accessible, inclusive, and yes, fun. With our tech-powered at-home lab test, you save time and money while feeling your best. 4U Health. Visit 4uhealth.com today.
Enjoy a quiet atmosphere with beautiful river views at the Brazos Landing, located in Waco along the Brazos River across from McLean Stadium. Enjoy homemade dishes like shrimp and grits, chicken piccata, braised short ribs, prime New York steaks, and more. Plus, enjoy a delicious dessert like creme brulee or key lime pie. Open for lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Brazos Landing in Waco, the only place where I-35 and the Brazos River meet.
It's our declaration of deals, and savings are moving fast at Allen Samuels Jeep in Waco. Get a 2026 Jeep Wrangler Sport for just $32,990. Or take $10,000 off a 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee Summit. Or qualified buyers can get 0% APR for 36 months and no payments for 90 days. Don't stand still. Drive today. Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
It's the 2026 Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes, brought to you by the First National Bank of Central Texas. Tour a variety of homes at different price points, plus see the latest trends from beautiful kitchens to outdoor living spaces. See the latest colors and design patterns. This is your chance to walk through homes, meet the builders, and get inspiration for your own projects. The Heart of Texas Builders Association Parade of Homes, June 5th, 6th, and 7th, and June 13th and 14th. Tickets are available online or at any parade home. For more information, go to wacohomeparade.com.
Somebody that was looking for a car, I would definitely recommend Allen Samuels. The trust that I have, the care that they take, they genuinely want to take care of you. They really ask for your feedback when you go to the support department to make sure they're taking care of you in every way possible. So I really appreciate that they listen to your feedback.
Like Allen Samuels always said, Waco has a lot to offer, and so do we at Allen Samuels Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Come by, let's be friends.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I had a panic moment running my hands through my hair, and that's when I found Keeps. Keeps gave me the results that I was really looking for.
I definitely felt a lot more confident once I saw my hair coming back.
Keeps has given me the control of my hair back.
Get your first month free at Keeps.com.
It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro.
This is a Rogue Media Network production.